Hello everyone and welcome to Rsbry Tarot. Today I was called to do a channel message. I have a few notes here on the side of just things that came into me. Okay, that kind of sounded weird. But regardless, I felt very sad earlier today. There's just kind of like this heavy sense of like longing in a way. Yeah, and the word macabre came up quite a few times today, which I thought was kind of strange, but it definitely did resonate on a different level. So it being October, the 1st of October, this is actually being filmed on the 2nd of October, but this was all gathered on the 1st. So maybe a lot of you guys might be into more macabre sort of themes, hobbies, content, things of that nature. Meek energies. I also had a dream that involved quite a lot of freezers, so maybe some of you guys are feeling stuck at the moment, stagnant. Maybe your emotions aren't necessarily presenting themselves as clearly as they used to, or as apparently. Period of drought, preservation also came up. There was quite a few hiding spots within the dream, just different locations and like surveillancing in a way. Lack of focus is also another thing that kind of occurred there, with a few elements of playfulness, whimsy, nature, parties, a park. Some of you guys might be attending a party at a park. I feel like the camera just shifted when I said that. And clinging to old and past connections. Alright, so let's just kind of gather some information about what this message is trying to come through as. I also made a few little like tokens with different house numbers, I believe planetary like placements, and zodiac signs as well. So it's gonna be a little loud, I apologize, but let me just go ahead and grab a few and we'll go from there, and I'll just set them aside right there. Okay. So we got the 10th house. Can't even see it. I haven't painted them yet. The 10th house, Aquarius, Mercury. We have the 4th house, the 9th house. Yeah, 9th house. Struggling to read that. And the 2nd house. So Mercury and Aquarius here. Let me actually grab one of my little booklets, because for some reason I can't recall what Mercury is associated with. Okay. Long distance travel, restlessness, because it craves movement, newness, and bright hope. Mercury seeks to understand the deeper connections between the physical universe and the divine. Let's see what that's Saturn. Oh, okay, Virgo. There we go. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So Virgo might also be another sign here. So you guys might have Aquarius placements in your Mercury or in some of these houses. Sadly, this book, I don't believe, goes in depth about the house placements, which I think is just kind of a missed opportunity. But yeah, regardless, that's there. Very invisible, but there you can kind of see the Mercury symbol. Okay. So just to repeat the numbers one more time, because they might resonate a little later in the reading. We have 9 to 92. We have 4 and 10, 14. 16 came to mind. 19. Yeah. I don't know why I felt like pulling that close. This is like a setup on my bed, so if you do see my like knees show up right here in this little zone, excuse it. Alright, so let's go ahead and just pull out some like constellation cards as well. I just feel like pulling them. So these are just kind of like a knowledge deck. Here, I'll show the little box. So they just kind of go into depth about different constellations that you can find, and you might resonate with what comes out. Let's go ahead and see. Just gonna let it jump out. Ooh, 2 jumped out. So we have Sagittarius and Pegasus. Right. Those I will leave right there so that you guys can read them, because they are very complex cards, and getting into the nitty-gritty of them, it can get a little long-winded, which I think it already kind of is, because we're 9 minutes in, and what have we gotten down? Not much, but that's okay. And let's jump right in. So one, just kind of that sad energy was there today, so I feel maybe a lot of you guys are kind of entering this month maybe in that cuffing mentality, which, you know, or rather hiding from it, or kind of repressing those sentiments, but then bubbling over the surface, kind of being locked away and hidden. But kind of starting to melt out. So we have the Justice card, the 8 of Wands, 5 of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Chariot. Taurus and Libra have also come out. So air, earth, following your gut is a big thing here right now. Kind of making impulsive decisions is also a factor. Being inclined to make impulsive decisions despite the outcome. Kind of hiding away from a bit of that. Yeah. Lots of major arcana here. So this could be something that's really holding you guys like to the plate for some reason when it come out. But in the sense that okay, I felt inclined to mention that Sagittarius is kind of a macabre sign, not to the level of Scorpio, which comes in mind as well, but that is something worth mentioning. The Magician in reverse and Temperance. Hiding from your own actions, not necessarily following your gut, and distractions come into mind, kind of distracting yourself of your own doing. Yeah, kind of feeling pity over oneself. Allowing that to kind of judge and dictate the place that you're in at the moment. Feeling as though you weren't in your best power during past situations and you're hiding from the effects your actions have taken on those situations, rather than sitting with those thoughts and assessing what has gone wrong, how you can move forward. You're allowing it to hold you in this cage almost, this defeat energy, rather than finding ways to transmute and move forward. Aquarius being like one of the only sign coins that came out makes me think you guys are linking a lot of past situations to your individual personality and the way that you perceive yourself, which leads. Okay, let's get a bit more. With the Star Spinner Tarot here. I'm like struggling to hold the cards. I have large hands, but these cards, for whatever reason, just never want to sit properly within my hands in this particular orientation. The World card. And I split the deck there. We have the Tower, the Three of Coins, and the Knight of Coins. Oh, upright. Oh, and the Nine of Coins was stuck at the bottom of the book. Okay, so I will go ahead and take that. Tuck it over here up top, next to the Chariot. Yeah. Wisdom. Inner wisdom is a main thing here. Following that inner wisdom, letting that guide you, rather than the quick impulsiveness that can sometimes occur in certain situations. This like flightiness with Pegasus there kind of reminded me of like Rainbow Dash. I don't really watch a lot of My Little Pony, but just stereotypically the way that you perceive her personality is someone that is very roll with the punches, but equally outspoken. I don't think that phrase was properly used there, but I think that is kind of that energy here. Very forgetful in a way. Now correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, but that's just kind of the perception that I've acquired in that regard. Now with the Knight of Pentacles, it's in the way that he's just watching that coin, admiring it, distracted. He seems distracted, leading to a bit of the distracted energy that I was within earlier. Just this heavy cloud of fog that kind of occurred, and we have fog right here in the Three of Coins, in reverse actually. So let's actually read up on that. Three of Coins in reverse. Okay, flip it open. In this position, the Three of Coins suggests that the quality of your collaborations is beginning to suffer. You must take time to troubleshoot and figure out where the snags are in your complex network of projects. Whose input is not needed? Whose contributions are overlooked? Now is a good time to check in with your teammates and reassess your shared vision. Now, playing back to the freezer imagery, I got like an image of kind of like freezer burn, or when things within your freezer have enough time to melt and refreeze. That process kind of leads to bacteria accumulating, and it can, create some foodborne illnesses. But linking it to the Three of Coins in reverse, it's figuring out, okay, what have you stored away and that has now become a burden rather than a preservation. Instead of retaining it in its best form, it has been tainted and come in with a bit of a like weighing the risk here. Like it's not worth the risk for certain things here. And I think you'll be more intuitively guided to figure out those movements on what you're holding on to, who has been there in your mind as a positive memory, but now has seeped into feeding more of this self-pitying energy. It's to avenge its attack on Orion. Sorry, that's like the first thing that I saw here. I was about to actually bring in this little scorpion resin like thing. It's like a little coin. Why did I say a little coin? A little dome. I think I got it in like Arizona or something. I don't remember. But I am bringing that up because it said the earth goddess Gaia sent the scorpion to sting Orion as punishment for his claim that he could slay all of Earth's animals. Because the Milky Way can be seen through its constellation, the ladle-shaped asterism that makes up the human part of Sagittarius is called the Milk Dipper. Alright, but here we kind of have that avenging energy. Sorry for the glare there. And trying to get back, but noticing here, right? Okay, I don't know a lot about these like little stories, so I'm kind of going based off of what is being told there. It's just recognizing the effects other people have. Okay, let's see the Pegasus card. I'm sure many have paused to read, but I'm still just glancing over. Okay. Ooh. born from the blood of Medusa, I felt kind of inclined to also mention that avenging aspect, or rather kind of like the reclaiming of power that Medusa tattoos can give you. Take that how you will. The Tower, I do want to hear what they have to say about their Tower card. The Tower. The Tower bodes oh my gosh. The Tower, oh my, I cannot speak. Okay. The Tower bodes upheaval. Moments where you are shaken at your very core and can feel your foundations crumbling beneath you. You may wonder who you have become. That which you have built to protect yourself may be the very thing that ultimately crushes you. In the broadest sense, a revolt has occurred, and old institutions can no longer stand. Exactly. So, figuring out what has served you in the past that no longer serves you now in the present, what is just kind of being carried along, left there in the back of your freezer, and just allowing it to hide in the unseen areas that are, starting to seep out and affect you, that are starting to show up in aspects of your life that aren't as necessary. Yeah. Let's see. I kind of want to pull out an affirmations card. These are just like random cards. But let's see what affirmations are to be said here in this message. Abundance. Congratulations. It seems you're due for a little and infinitely big piece of abundance pie. Feel like you don't deserve it? Knock it off. It's already plated and ready to hit your table. Reluctant to take it? Shut your hole. Abundance pie is big enough to serve everyone. So get your whipped cream ready, unless you're lactose intolerant. I keep burping. And enjoy your well-deserved metaphorical dessert. This is a little bonus card. I'm gonna scoot it over. Actually, let's see if I can place it up here with the rest of these. So I'm getting a little distracted here. It seems that that's just something that keeps occurring. You keep distracting yourself from the situation, which in part can be good, to not let things stay so heavily present within your mind when they are negatively to blame. Although this escapism can lead to more issues in the long run. Okay. Any more information that wants to come out for this reading? Happiness, Strength in reverse, and the Fool. Okay. Your happiness should not be tied to your weaknesses and what you are not chasing. Okay. It's kind of like on the back of carrying your happiness on the back of your shoulders. I just have like this image of something like being like heavy on your back. We have the wolf carrying the girl on its back. We have the fool carrying a backpack with the whole load and claws on their back. And it's all kind of to the back of happiness here. The happiness card with the 9 of Cups. It's like you're entering into this happier stage in life, but there's still these things that are like stuck to your back, tacked to your back, that are wanting to drag you down. It could be holding on to these weaknesses, assuming that there will be a new opening that allows you to use your weaknesses, to reassess those faltering points. And the song just like became very like loud in my mind. 2 Months by the Sardines. You guys might find something to back this. I kind of want to see the lyrics. Oh, it doesn't have lyrics? Okay. Well, like on the platform that I'm listening to it on. But yes, it's just kind of carrying these past energies within the back of your freezer. Your freezer being your stores for moments where you aren't necessarily in abundance, right? Or where you feel like you aren't in abundance, and you reach in for your stores where you're storing these positive memories, thoughts, associations, and some of those stored away past connections and situations that you're holding on to are not what you deserve. And what I mean by that is that some of them are starting to yeah. I'm like wiggling my fingers if you're listening and not viewing the video. But sidetracked again, sorry. But you're bringing these thoughts back out, you're wanting to kind of relive it, but instead of the positivity that it once held, it is more so filled with these subtleties of hurt, sadness, like self-pity. But it's a case of going in and understanding yourself and the need for change, the need for balancing and forgiving and letting go of a lot of these situations, of course using your own discernment on what is worth keeping and what is worth letting go and moving on and allowing to reform past thoughts into positive ones again, to get your abundance pie, as the card said, and understanding that you're welcome to have that. I mean, you're in this 9 of Cups energy. Like, this is the energy, this playfulness. This is like your present, but in the background, kind of in your storage, you guys might have like old photos you look back on, which that is a kind of holding on to things, thinking, oh, I was happy in the past in these moments, let me look back on them to feel happy. That's not necessarily how that works, and it more so turns and makes you feel upset, sad, depressed, because you're creating this situation, this turmoil within yourself that, makes your stomach turn. And just clearing that out would benefit intensely, immensely. Of course, it's a process thing. And here, actually, with the Knight of Coins, the way that he's looking at that coin, it's looking back on past situations and thinking there will be like a change, but in reality, you're just fogging and clouding your own ability to move forward and enter into the 10 of Cups that comes after this 9 of Cups. There's just that little block, that little something that is keeping you from moving forward, from soaring, as you may say. Now, for some of you, it could be more of a coraje kind of way of going about it. Like, the situation is just so not gratifying, but to some degree it can be, where you feel so intensely upset or emotional or stimulated by a past situation that you let it sit, you let it linger on. Let's check the 9 of Coins out here. Struggling to find the page. The 9 of Coins encourages you to take some time to enjoy your financial gains. You have worked hard and you have room to seek some enjoyment. It might be an opportune time to splurge and treat yourself in something special. This card speaks to strong self-worth. You have appraised yourself highly, and every bit of the confidence has been hard earned. It really is. Okay. Yeah, okay. Concluding, your present situation is still a 9 of Cups, a 9 of Coins. It has abundance, and there are these levels of gratification in your present, where you don't have to rely so heavily on the past. And because of this, it's really a start on clearing out old habits, old cycles of looking to the past, and expecting things to kind of play the same. Oh, misery. Oh, misery. Okay, that was, I thought, okay. I'm embarrassed now. Anyways, we're continuing. Yeah. Maybe some of you guys are very into, your own self-misery, and that's just where you feel comfortable. But who am I to judge? I am the same way. I won't lie. Okay, we're getting pretty long here. So, let me go ahead, pull maybe a few final cards and close out. Truly close out. Okay, let's get some advice cards here for this message. We got the Magician in reverse again, so that's just kind of doubling up on that. Moodiness, bad advice, coldness with the freezer. And also kind of holding on to these old messages, this hopelessness, anxiety that is creating anxiety within you. Trickery, illusions, the cloud. I'm like thinking almost like dry ice. The way that like fogs up and creates like this, murkiness. Even when you open a freezer, sometimes like that little like plume of cold air that just, has that like chemical reaction and like turns into gas as you open the door. I guess like the heat. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, okay, that was actually really weird. Like, you're opening up the door, and the door to the past, or whatever, it's giving you anxiety with the 9 of Swords. Restlessness, being, like, very stuck within that. The King of Cups in reverse. Yeah, just, like, this frozen, cold demeanor that is being kind of put out. It's that illusion. Trauma, anxiety, hopelessness, restlessness, moodiness, coldness. Yeah, just like this plume of, retained memories are starting to create a smoke and mirrors kind of illusion on life, where you're starting to kind of distort your own reality a bit. You're going through this, maze of life, and instead of seeing it clearly, you're anxious and you're afraid that you're going to bump into a mirror. You're afraid that, you're going to come across something unexpected. And I think that leads you back to this comforting hiding spot within your own past stored thoughts, where you feel comfortable, as within those delusions, illusions, and mystifying situations. Yeah. But your present is very much able to provide for you at this time. So, allowing it to come through and yourself to, lavish in those aspects of life would be very beneficial for you at the moment or at this time. Ooh, don't get stung by the scorpion is something that came to mind. The way that they can hide in like nooks and crannies and can catch you desprevenida, like unexpectedly, like while you're distracted. Ooh, so much distraction. Actually, this is a distraction that's distracting you from your current reality, your current life, is these past situations. Pyramid of Light, psychic protection. As a being of light, darker energies may at times seek to interfere with your spiritual process. There is nothing to fear and only more awareness of the power and protection of divine love to experience. The Pyramid of Light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it is now time for that interference to cease completely through loving divine power. Yeah. Clearing that fog the best you can, finding that balance, and being more present within your current reality and the physical world, going out. I felt like pulling out the numbers one more time. 9, 10. Maybe you guys might like some late night stuff. Okay. 4 and 2. Maybe go get some lunch, some dinner, brunch. Could also be something good. Go out with your gal pals and have fun with that. That fell over. Okay, they're like wanting to turn over, so I guess that's enough of that. But that's your guys' message for today. You know, go out, have your abundance pie. That's like stuck in my head because I love that now. Like that phrasing I've never heard, but it's stuck with me personally. And I hope that you guys were able to find some aspects of this message that resonated with you and a bit of clarity to help clear out this fog that is appearing within this message for you guys. But that concludes this video for today, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, week, or month, depending on the next time that I see you guys. But that's it for me. Bye-bye from Rsbry Tarot. Until next time, deuces.